What's up, fellow Saiyans, and welcome to episode 39 of our Marvel Mini-Paints. Today I'm doing Legion. He's an anti-hero, which means he could be played as a hero or as the villain of the story. His real name is David Haller. He's the son of Professor X, and he is currently primed in Uniform Gray, as are all the minis. His mutant powers, he has like a bunch of split personalities, and each personality has a different power, which makes him an extremely powerful mutant. And he's also responsible for bringing in the Age of Apocalypse. But to start him off, we're going to use Barbarian Flesh, and we're going to use this on his face and his arms. He's wearing like a sleeveless shirt, so like basically all from the shoulder down. And the painting parts of this video are being sped up 8 times their normal speed. Usually it takes about 2 hours to do one of these figures. And it's broken down into like a 15-minute video, so. And I usually like to start with the lighter colors first because they usually require a second coat. And at least if you get them down, if you get a little bit of another color on them, it's easier to cover it up than it would be to start fresh. And usually with flesh colors, you usually want about at least 2 coats. 2 solid, consistent coats. And once we're finished with that, we're going to hop on down to his pants, and we're going to use Necromancer Cloak for the pants. That way we leave separate areas to dry out so we could have it. We're not going right at the so none of the colors, or the fresh colors, are basically touching. Next, we're going to use Dark Stone, and we're going to use this color for his hair. It's like a brownish gray, like dark gray. I was debating on going with matte black or Dark Stone. I just wanted to try my own thing here. Touch up the eyebrows a little bit. You got them big bushy eyebrows. Next, on the base below the brain he's sitting on, we're going to use matte black and just just make it black. Now for his shirt, we're going to use Lava Orange. See, like the reference I was going by their painted Marvel reference, like the official painted ones, and he has an orange shirt on, and that's why I went with it. But in hindsight, like when I go back and look at the comics and stuff, I see him with an all blue outfit that looks like this. So after painting this figure, and then later on down the line realizing that his shirt's blue, like his whole outfit's like blue and white, like I really wish I would have went back and did it that way. But you know, shit happens. So we're going to just cover this all up. Lava Orange. Lava Orange is kind of a shitty color. You got to add at least 3 coats before you actually can tell what it is. Alright, for the base of the brain color, we're going to use Crusted Sore. And this is just going to go all over the brain he's like hunched over on. Alright, once we're finished with that, we're going to use skeleton bone for, like, he has them wraps around his forearms. On each forearm, they're, like, wrapped up. And we're just going to use this for the color for the wraps. Now for the eyes, like we always do, we're going to use matte white. And now it's going to be time to take the detail brush and just go over everything and clean up everything. Any colors that go out on the wrong spot or something, just go back with a real detailed fine bristles and just go through and redo it. And once we're finished with this, we can begin the washing process. Now, once it's time to start washing them, we're going to use Flesh Wash. And again, we're going to apply that to his face and his arms. And when you're using wash, you always got to remember you want enough of it to seep into all the grooves, but you don't want it to puddle up too much, and you also don't want bubbles. So sometimes you might have to... I'm also going to use Flesh Wash on the brain as well, because it's like a reddish color. But then, like you can see, I'm going back after I lay some of it down. I'm going back, and I might take some off with a wet brush. So next, we're going to use Soft Tone, and this is going to be applied to his shirt, as well as the just the shirt. Yeah, the shirt. Yeah, that was the shirt and his little forearm wraps. And then finally, for the hair and the black base around the brain, we're going to use Dark Tone. And once this is finished, you'll have yourself a long drying period. And once that's done, we can start the highlights. I'm going to go ahead and during the drying process, I add another coat of the matte white on top of the wash because his eyes are just white. So for the skin highlights, we're going to take our barbarian flesh we used earlier. We're going to add a little dab of mummy ropes to it to lighten it up. And we're just going to apply this, you know, in the lighted areas of the skin where the light would hit it. Just be careful not to get it on the other color, on the black or the orange, although the orange wouldn't matter as much. And now the orange highlights, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take our lava orange we used before and add a little dab of mummy robes to it. Like, mummy robes is not as bright as matte white, but it's enough to just kind of bring out a little more, or a little less than matte white would, without completely saturating the color. And we're going to it's almost using like a dry brush effect, but I'm using a smaller brush. It's not really a dry brush. I wipe off the excess paint on the paper towel and then just try getting the edges. Now we're actually going to use mummy robes by itself for once. We're going to use this as the highlight color for the wraps that are on his forearms. Same deal with that. Once we're done, it's time to move on to his pants. And we're going to use uniform gray, which ironically is the color he was primed in, but we're going to apply this over top of the darker color we had before. Now for his hair, I've never done this before. I used oak brown and I dry brushed it on his hair. I mean, because, like, here's the thing. I did, like, the combos of matte black and crystal blue before. So, I liked the way it looked, but I kind of wanted to just experiment with different things. But, like I said, there's a couple things I would change. Like, I would change his outfit, and then looking back at, like, his hair's okay how it turns out. But looking back at it, I would have probably preferred to do the black with the blue. I just think it looks cooler. But now we're going to take our Warlock Purple, and we're going to dry brush this onto the brain, on the base. And this is going to be the finished result. Like I said, like, I don't think he looks bad. I wish I would have did more research into him. Like, I mean, I know about the character and, like, what, but, like, I wish I would have saw his original costume in the blue and white. Like, I think I would have preferred that more. And, like I said before, the hair, I would have liked to make maybe black with the crystal blue highlights. I think it looks cool with more true to the comics. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you'd like, you can check out my Twitch page or my Facebook page. Just look for Saiyan Elite. Every once in a while, I'll have like live painting sessions where I'm painting live, but not often. I mean, and if you like this video and would like to see more, subscribe. That way you'll get notified on new ones when they come out. I'm trying to get as many of these done as I can. It's just like I said, 2 hours per figure. It's a lot of time out of your day, plus to make the videos. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, later, Saiyans.